The Harris Walz campaign is out with 2 new videos. I wanted to bring those to you right now because 1, they're great, and 2, I couldn't be more excited. I just want to share stuff. I'm just so excited. 1, there's a video where Kamala Harris calls Walz and tells him he is the pick. And then 2, there's an introduction to Walz. I'm going to show you the video where she calls him right now.
Hi, this is Tim.
It's Kamala Harris. Good morning, Governor.
Good morning, Madam Vice President.
Listen, I want you to do this with me. Let's do this together. Would you be my running mate and let's get this thing on the road?
I would be honored, Madam Vice President.
The joy that you're bringing back to the country, the enthusiasm that's out there, it'll be a privilege to take this with you across the country.
Well, let me tell you, I have just the utmost respect for you. I have really enjoyed our work together. You understand our country. You have dedicated yourself to our country in so many different and beautiful ways. And we're going to do this. We're going to win. And we're going to unify our country and remind everyone that we are fighting for the future for everyone. So let's get out there and get this done, okay?
Let's do it. Do the work in front of us. Let's win this thing.
That's right. All right, buddy. I'll see you soon. Take care. Thank you.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Love that. Obviously, movie magic a little bit, because there's no way he had a camera set up at his house with a camera crew and they're like, hey, I don't think Josh Shapiro had a camera crew at his house just in case the vice president called. So obviously he knew about it ahead of time and they recreated the moment, which is very sweet. I'm glad they did that. Interestingly, that's also the same way Joe Biden released his announcement to Kamala, is that he called her and they had recorded the call. So I like that they continue that. It's also just a show that, very much so, a lot of the same team is working on this campaign as worked on the Harris campaign. Also, I just had cleaning people come. I think they messed this up. They messed up my camera. Okay. So, and then a lot of people are like, who is Tim Walz? And one of the great things about him is that he is relatively unknown. He doesn't have a lot of baggage. That's good and it can be bad. So they have to define him before the Harris Walz campaign has to define Tim Walz before their opposition can define him. And so they just released this clip, and I want to show it to you right now. Real quick, if you can like and subscribe. Liking and subscribing is the best way to help the channel and get this in front of more people who we need to reach by November. Thanks so much.
Sometimes life is as much about the lessons you learn as the lessons you teach. When I grew up, community was a way of life. My high school class was 24 people. I was related to half of them. I learned to be generous towards my neighbors, compromise without compromising my values, and work for the common good. My dad was in the Army, and with his encouragement, I joined the Army National Guard when I was 17. I served for 24 years. I used my GI benefits to go to college and become a public school teacher. I coached football and taught social studies for 20 years. And I tried to teach my students what small-town Nebraska taught me: respect, compromise, service to country. And so when I went into government, that's what I carried with me. I worked with Republicans to pass an infrastructure bill, cut taxes for working families, signed paid leave into law. I codified abortion rights after Roe got overturned. Because I go to work for the common good. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. Because that's what this election is about. It's about your future. It's about your family. And Vice President Harris knows that. She too grew up in a middle-class family. She too goes to work every day, making sure families can not just get by, but get ahead. We believe in the promise of America, in those values I learned in Nebraska, and we're ready to fight for them. Because as Kamala Harris says, when we fight, we win.
Awesome. He is I don't know. I think a lot of people would have been great, but he has so many pluses. He is who JD Vance wishes he were, and I cannot say that enough. I cannot wait to see him debate JD Vance. This is a man who is in our army, or this is a man who was in our military for a long time. I want to tell you a little bit about that because I don't think a lot of people know what it means. So this is what a commander sergeant major means. This is why it's a big deal. So I put this on my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, at Keith Edwards. But I put this on my Instagram, so you would have seen it first if you follow me there. But now you're getting it here. Mark Hertling wrote, Many followers not familiar with the military are asking me, so what's the big deal about a command sergeant major? Walz joined at 18 as a private, rose through the NCO sergeant ranks, each requiring extreme competence and increasingly demanding jobs with more people and responsibility at every rank. When you reach master sergeant, you are selected to serve as a first sergeant of a unit. If you're good enough, then those first sergeants compete for selection to sergeant major. Only the best sergeant majors are selected for command sergeant major, CSM. CSMs serve as the senior enlisted person in the unit and the advisor to commanders at battalion and above. Having served with dozens of CSMs as my unit and command battle buddy, I will attest that they were all awesome. They know that what they're doing. They uphold standards. They speak their minds to all ranks, private to generals. They're not afraid of getting bad news because they know how to fix things when they go wrong. And they serve the command, their commander, and the soldiers with a selfless integrity and a complete dedication. During social events and informal occasions, they're usually a whole bunch of fun, and they always have great stories, but they're always professional. So those are my thoughts on Command Sergeants Major. While I don't know the details of Governor Tim Walz's career wearing the cloth of our country, just the fact that he volunteered to serve and wore the CSM rank tells me a lot about him. The right is going to have such a hard time combating this, the fact that he's Midwest nice. Did you see what he was wearing when the vice president called him? Did you see that? This is a man that is who is working class through and through, such a balance to the ticket. But what's not a balance is the joy factor. I really do believe that this is, this is a election about the future, not the past. This is also an election about hope and joy instead of fear and anger. And this Walz pick perfectly represents that. These are two people who are fully in their bodies, who are expressing emotion. I've shared with this channel Kamala Harris talking about her mother passing and her being able to cry in real time. You all know that I'm a crier. And also, Walz is such a joyful figure that I think that this is the contrast between them and Trump and Vance is so great. And I will tell you this about America. I will tell you this about our fellow Americans. They will choose hope every time it's offered to them. We just have to give them it in a good package. And we've got that package now.
I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?